every time. We'll see. Talking about Neon a bit, their draft is building up. They get the OD, so they've got this very balanced hero on their side, along with a TA Bane. Some flex here for Neon and kind of determining what they want on mid and safe. TA could still be safe lane. You could run OD mid, you could run OD off. So a lot of flex with the lineup of Neon right now. Very open. It does lack wider teamfight control outside of Bane with a grip and Nightmare. So you don't have the best ways to maybe keep the Mirana pinned down outside of Astral. Although Astral Meteor Hammer should get the job done. I'm keen to see what Neon takes on their 4 for Jing to kind of build up in that control. As mentioned, Hoodwink could be a pretty good option here to give them wider AoE control, to have them have some good scouting potential around with Scurry as well, cutting through the backline. That could be one way that Neon go. SMG to take the Earth Spirit that we were saying Jing would take. There you go, Mike.
And it's Arfu too. No. There's a patch in a few days. Don't touch this hero. We've got Arfu. I mean, I guess it's going to be a bit of a show here from Arfu. I'm sure the viewers are very happy, John, but not for me. So we all know what happens if you have a good Earth Spirit game before a patch drops. Ice Frog, he's always watching that, man. He's paying very close attention.
Oh, yeah.
I know one day, John. One day we're going to go back to the days where you could still stun with Boulder Smash. The good old days.
The real sick man, Mike. Well, busted days.
You've got Earth Spike, you've got Impale, you've got Fisher, you've got Burrow Strike. What was wrong with Boulder Smash stunning? John?
What? No, wait, hold on. This is Raging Potato Jakiro, isn't it?
Oh, it might be.
Again?
Yes, it might be.
Holy crap. What is this night? We're just getting treats in every game, every series. And the first series was just utter stomps coming out from T1. And now SMG, Jakiro offlane likely for Raging Potato. I'm trying to think of flexes here.
Oh!
Maybe you run... Okay, the Clockwork comes through for Neon as well. So there's your roamer for Jing.
All my favorite heroes.
All your heroes are here. Yeah, all your favorites here, Mike. Earth Spirit, Clockwork. You couldn't be happier.
No, I couldn't be sadder, John. Again, I want these heroes to be buffed in the next patch, not nerfed, and I'm very afraid that they're going to look very good in this game. Still, I mean, Clockwork, yeah, I mean, he's not exactly in meta, but he does a great job against Earth Spirit because you don't allow him to roll away with that battery assault, and that's always very nice. If it's a Pulse 3 Jakiro, you just destroy them with Clockwork very easily, John, let me tell you. Even if it is a Pulse 3, you just hookshot, max battery assault, they are guaranteed to die. So I like the Clockwork. And going back to the Earth Spirit, John, all jokes aside, it's a great Earth Spirit game in terms of the draft SMG have. So if there's one thing Earth Spirit players hate, is a passive draft. And this is a very aggressive draft from SMG. This is a draft that, no matter what lane you go to, Earth Spirit can rotate and fight. So it's a great pick. I just wonder how they'll finish these drafts off now.
It does feel like for Neon, they're probably just lacking either a mid or safe lane at this point. They could still run.
Hold on. If there's a Mirana Earth Spirit, who's playing Pulse 5?
That was the one question I had in my mind as well. We have seen Ninja Bogey Mirana. I mean, I guess at this point they're not thinking about like farm distribution or just like, what's your comfort hero? It's like Ninja Bogey Mirana. All right. And just give Afu Earth Spirit. There is potential for, say, I was going to say like Moon Earth Spirit mid, but considering you're up against either OD or TA, that doesn't sound good. You know, that does not sound good at all. And it is going to be the Lena mid. So it should be... I mean, there's potential for Raging Potato offlane Earth Spirit. We've seen that before as well, offlane core Earth Spirit. But again, not in the past year, at least for the games we've casted. So I would prefer Jakiro offlane, and even then, that's a very nebulous choice. For SMG's lineup, though, they do have really good teamfight control. X into Macropyre, Torrent Boat, Arrow, the Earth Spirit rolling around, Lena LSA. They have really good burst damage on hand. Neon, not quite the same control. You're really focused on the Clockwork, maybe breaking off some key parts of the lineup of SMG, picking them off. OD playing with the Astral Imprisonment Meteor Hammer. Not going to be the easiest time against Earth Spirit, as you mentioned, Mike. It's a great Earth Spirit game. You can just cancel off the grip, cancel off the channeling of the OD quite well on Meteor Hammer, and cut off that initiation. So there are lots of tools there for SMG, but Neon close out with a Void. Now, this does give them team fight. This does give them a lot of control that they were lacking. They do not have the most aggressive early lineup. Their 4 heroes are pretty aggressive, but the TA will need to farm. The Void will definitely need to farm. And I think SMG are kind of geared to fight against that really well. They've got the heroes on hand. They come in line pretty quick. Even the Lina on mid really just needs travel since she's showing up everywhere. So I think SMG's rectified the issues from game 1 and should look to play a lot faster here, as we do have Raging Potato offlane Earthspirit. All right.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Offlane Earthspirit right now, I want to say he's pretty trash, to be honest. But it's Raging Potato. I'm gonna have faith that he's gonna have a plan up his sleeve. I mean, it's a very aggressive draft, John. Point is, if you can get that XP early on ES, you can really make some moves happen. I just don't think it's really required to put it in the POS 3 role, personally. But we'll see what kind of itemization Raging goes for to try and make this a thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we saw it, wasn't it like an Echo Saber build-up? And maybe still Spirit Vessel Echo Saber, I think, something like that. And a BKB really fast. So that could be the way Raging Potato goes. In the lane against faces Void, I mean, it's a Void. Your Time Walk is pretty atrocious in terms of cooldown. You've got Earthspirit Morana as a lane, so there's some aggression that can come out from SMG. I worry about the scaling towards late game, because that's a Void with no natural counter here. Unless you get Halberds up at the BKB first for Chuan, using that while the Chrono is up kind of negates that. So as the game goes on, Neon looks a lot stronger and stronger. And they are up against Alina and a Kunkka, but it's still a Void into the late game. So SMG have to play this one really fast, Mike.
Yeah, I thought so as well, by the way. I don't think you can go the Echo Saber build because they removed the level 10 talent. So you don't get the bonus
right.
plus 60, plus 50 damage, whatever they changed it to. So I'm still very curious. Let's get into game number 2 and see what they do go for on these heroes.
Hello,
At the very least, John, it's always fun to see the heroes being changed up, as we do hear, I believe, Cuckoo's lovely voice in the background there from Jing.
I will eat the cheese.
Very intrigued though to see what kind of item build-ups we see here and whether SMG in particular can make this draft work. Mind you, John, I never commented on the last pick Void for OB.Neon, but I also hate that. From their side of things, though, the difference being Avatar mode is the real carry. I think Chuan just wants to be a playmaking sort of core in the safe lane, and we saw that from the Blunt Seeker. You can still get pretty great usage out of Chrono, so why the hell not?
Yeah. I mean, you've got 2 range heroes to play with a Chrono. TA not as much in terms of range, but OD for sure will enjoy that control, and you can just pile on the damage from there. I think it's a perfect way to get a more playmaking one, which is weird to say when you have a Void because you tend to want to play slower to him, but you've got the TA to get that initial farm. I think we'll see the same thing from Chuan. Look to join his team early, look to use Chrono every single time he can, and try to just build up. Bang though.
Arrow off the mark. Torrent not going to land either. The only thing that landed was the Boulder Smash from Raging, and at level 1, the slow really just doesn't last very long, so not really too much impact here from SMG, as now OB.Neon, they might try to force a fight. Over this bounty rune, Chuan, do you really want to go? Not quite. It'll be a 2-for-2 trade. Nice even start for both sides, and we'll start off with the top lane, John, because Raging is going to be there on that Earth Spirit, along with our Phil on that POS 4 Mirana. You're also going to have Chuan there in that position 1 Void, along with the Bang on that Bane again.
Ooh, that's nice.
He has already queued up the urn, to be fair. So it looks like Raging might go for a very quick Spirit Vessel build-up. Pretty good against the TA, I suppose. Just burn through those refractions and, you know, just kind of snowball off at least the urn. I'm still looking to see what he goes after, though.
Yeah, I think it's pretty open. Maybe the safe play would be something like a Veil to amp up your damage and amp up everyone's damage. Lena's going to enjoy that. No one really wants to build that except for Jakiro, but it's on support, so it's going to be hard to get that farm. Lane for Neon here should be a lot slower, Mike. It's a Faceless Void. You can be aggressive if you get a good bash. You've got some good nuke damage on a Bang, but beyond that, you don't really get to make much plays, mainly from SMG. They're the ones that's going to be looking for angles. They're the ones that's going to be looking for hooking up the arrow, hooking up the boulder smash and a roll, and trying to develop from there. But even the first 2 levels for them are also going to be slower, focusing on range creep and possibly the large camp if it's left open here.
Of course, over in the mid lane, Moon going to be against Avatar mode, and Moon on this lane should have a very good time. Unlike last game, where even the Quap vs Kunkka matchup doesn't feel great for the Quap, I think Moon this time around on this laner, there's really no way to lose this lane now against the TA. Surely.
No, I mean, you don't melt through refraction too fast, so maybe by level 4 with a 2-in-1 build it feels a bit tougher. but even then, it is a bit tougher for the TA to trade hits up against Moon in the first few levels. Like, Moon has better range. You can try to play with side blades. Again, level 1, not the best outcome. You're just going to have to wait and build up, and that should give Moon a lot more leeway. He's going to have a better time in controlling runes as well. I think that's where a lot of that mid will boil down
nice
to.
Arrow.
Rune control.
Fu able to land the arrow, and Raging will happily take the kill for himself. First blood to go the way of Raging Potato, and Bang, I feel like he probably could have dodged, but there wasn't really too much time. So they do set up for the first blood there for SMG.
And that's what you want to see, right? With an Earth Spirit, you've got to be aggressive with a Mirana. And as mentioned for Neon, this is going to be a passive lane. Chuan can't really do anything to help. He could go for time dilation, but it's not ideal, especially since her follow-through on Bane isn't that great anyway. So he's just going to focus and farm. I think as long as Chuan is farming, Abang doesn't mind sacrificing himself for the cost.
Well, spot lane as well. The final lane, you've got Enryu there on that disgusting OD. Of course, against CDR, and they'll be supported by Jing and Ninja Boogie. Again, I feel like Jing in this lane on the Clockwork, he probably can't do too much. Like, if you catch the Jakiro, you can get a bit of damage off, but you want that level 3 before you can even think about going for that kill. And against the Kunkka, you just don't even bother, because you just can't kill Kunkka. As Clockwork, it's just not going to happen. Though I suppose as long as Enryu's farming on the OD to a nice timing on that Meteor Hammer, you're going to be pretty happy if you are Jing.
Yeah, you don't mind too much, and you do actually manage to gap close. You do have good setup for the Clockwork to run in. Just Astral into a run-in with Battery Assault and the Cogs can lead into a kill. The issue is positioning, and this lane is all about positioning. CDR is just going to be playing by the creep wave, hard to isolate him. He backs off when his creep wave is running low, and Ninja Boogie's just standing way far back as you'd expect from a Jack. So the openings aren't presenting themselves for Neon, but if they do find that opening, it's still a lane that can be aggressive, but you don't mind playing it too passively either, although the Kunkka will have a better time. Like, CDR should have better timings to reach, should be able to get that arm a lot faster than his PA reached Battle Fury, and that should lead to SMG having that early aggression here.
We do have a bit of a rotation coming in from a Bang, but it's over the water runes it seems, as he'll take one for himself, Avatar mode, he'll take the other. So Moon's going to be left with an empty bottle in this mid lane. In the meantime, though, bot lane, CDR was being dived, but now they can turn back in onto Jing. Jing's struggling just a little bit to try and survive through this, though he is still going for a run. Does get the salve out, but that'll be cancelled. Still, CDR is unable to finish off the job, so Jing, while he is extremely low, is not going to die. And in the meantime, top lane, Chuan ends up dropping, as Raging does find his second kill of the game.
Yeah, they might be able to find out Bang as well with Urn running.
Yeah, I think they have. They've got the roll up on Raging. He may not even need it, but he's just going to chase a Bang down. Boulder Smash, that'll be enough. 3 kills now to Raging Potato. In the meantime, bot lane, Enryu, also dropping quite low on the OD, but is going to be able to back off in time, and probably just needs to go for a bit of a reset now. Though he does have the Ring of Health, so he might just depend on that instead.
You can just kind of soak up in the back line, play with a tower regen. Have to watch him if the big Tide Bringer hits. It is going to stall his progress, but he's always got the Astral to buy a little bit more space. The worry for Neon now is how slow the start is for Chuan. We talked about that lane being slow, Mike. His initial farm starting to drop off, and if the aggression keeps up from SMG, he's going to be eating into a lot of that TA space just to get his initial farm up.
They are just continuing with the aggression as now Arfu picks up a kill on that Mirana. And, well, they are really playing this lane very well. Just the constant aggression here from SMG in this off lane. And we talked about, well, I don't like pos 3 Earth Spirit, John. With this draft, if you get off to a good start, it's going to be a very fun game for Raging.
He's already set. He's going to hit level 6 a lot earlier than Chuan. They're already applying some really good pressure on the tower with the siege creep up. Not much Chuan can do to clear that wave off fast, and he's in danger.
Oh man, Alfu landing a very nice arrow there on that Mirana, and that'll be the 4th kill now to Raging Potato. Just absolutely everything they could ask for, and while we don't think Chuan's the real pos one anyway, you still want some damage on that Void.
You're gonna need something. They catch Ninja Bogey though. Jing does finally manage to find the angle, but he's still pretty healthy. Rocket Flares there, not enough damage. Needs a right click.
Not enough would do it. Jing. Nah, he's just gonna go for a bit of a dance. That'll be it. The taunt is all he can do as Ninja Boogie walks away into the sunset. In the meantime, mid lane, I mean, Oh, never mind. Chuan's in trouble again, it seems. He's trying to fight, but they've already got that Spirit Vessel. Very early timing here from Raging. So he does get taken down, though, and Chuan might be able to get some sweet, sweet revenge. But even he does not feel confident going into Arfu right now. Just not with that amount of HP, and, well, he'll be salved up, and he'll be able to reset now. Concerning signs, though, as Spirit Vessel this early on for an Earth Spirit is going to be quite detrimental for OB.Neon.
Yeah, that's a lot of presence you have now from Raging Potato, and it's quite the turn from game one, where his Spirit Breaker was just having a slow lane. The aggression is kicking in. This is what we wanted to see from them.
Oh,
lane combo, and they land on Chuan again.
Yeah, and they've got the silence into the boulder smash. It's going to be another kill. Arfu, he's just been on point every arrow he throws out. And so far, just in this offlane alone, John, they've got 6 out of the 7 kills for SMG.
Yeah, they've been lining it up. They know they've got to play that lane fast. They take the tier 1. Ninja Bogey even showing up, but there's no one to find beyond Beng, which would still be a good kill. You know, you want some more earn charges up, but not going to fully commit. SMG with a great lead in the early game, 7-1, 2k lead. Much stronger lanes coming out. Their cores are up ahead in that word. The only one really taking a hit has been Chidori, but it doesn't matter too much. Like, you are making... It's the same issue with SMG. Moon's the real carry on the Lina. He can scale really well in that hero, just needs travels, can go Silver Edge, can go right-click. So you don't really mind your Kunkka being too far behind. But they're getting a lot more for that Lina compared to Avatar mode on the TEA. Still a bit behind, still having to catch up. Does have the Ancients to fall back to, though, and the side of SMG aren't in position to contest that yet. So there's some room for Neon to get that catch-up farm going.
SMG getting that pressure onto that mid-tier 1 tower now as Moon. Let's be there with Raging, or rather Ninja Boogie, and they'll just slowly push away. And speaking of Raging, he does show up onto a ping. It's going to be another kill coming out for the Earth Spirit. It looks like Raging Potato might be listening to the stream, John. He's really trying to make me eat my words now as Laguna? Jing eventually goes down. Now Raging moves in with the Magnetize, but the Astral is there. Into the Chrono, into the Meteor Hammer. That'll be Raging to die. Arfu is able to run out, though. They'll take the Earth Spirit kill for themselves. The CDR is going to show up now. Back in onto the OD. He will get hit by that torrent. Arrow will be there to boot. Very well timed here by Arfu. Henry is still trying to survive, but gets the hammer down in time. And now CDR will go down. It's just a complete 5v5 brawl into the mid lane as Ninja Boogie's been caught out by Jing. And that's going to be another one for OB.Neon. Believe that whole team fight was favorable for the Dire in the end.
Yeah, it does work out, but that's Southeast Asian Dota, Mike. You know, you just clump up 5 mid, you throw all your spells, you look for the kills, and that's what we love to see. Valiant effort from SMG. They managed to get some good damage on that tier 1, but they overcommit. And with respawn so low, Neon just manages to get their supports back in. They find the angles, they get a good chrono from Chuan. All the while, they didn't manage to find anything onto Avatar mode, which is really the big issue. The TA has managed to catch up and farm here, Mike. 200 gold behind, not too far off. And as long as that mid-tier 1 stands, that jungle is still open. So SMG understands that. They'll keep their focus onto mid. Without the chrono, this counter fight from Neon is going to be a lot tougher.
OB.Neon keeping back as the tier 1 mid does eventually fall. SMG good position right now, 1k net worth lead, and more importantly, Moon just really ahead in terms of net worth. I say that, Avatar mode is just behind him. They're actually going to pop a 2-man smoke here from OB.Neon. Jing, going to avoid the roll there from Raging, but Boulder Smash is going to connect, and with the cogs and the ice path, he's just kind of locked in. They're still trying to find a way out, but eventually, he will just drop. They pick up 1, but in the meantime, up a top lane, CDR has been caught by the Astral into the Meteor Hammer, and there is probably no escaping for him. Or maybe there is. He's armor toggling for now. Chuan's still trying to move in, but no, he does go down. Raging, however, does show up back in onto the OD. They've got Enryu. Astral, it'll buy a bit of time, but only for so little as Chuan. For more, he's still having a look around. Just going to TP out and is going to make it, but they still find a very nice trade here for the side of SMG.
Managed to kill off the OD. It feels pretty even. I mean, you kill off Chidori, so it's not the worst loss in the world for Neon. Enry was slightly ahead at that pickoff though, but it's still a really even game. 12-6, 2K lead for SMG. It puts them in favor. It's not enough to really put them at the big advantages. Neon are still finding some farm out. They are buying some very necessary space for Avatar mode. Their draft is naturally slower in comparison to SMG. So I think they're accepting these early losses. They know their presence isn't as strong. They just need to keep stalling until they are. And that's all on the TA's timings, which are still building up. So we'll see if SMG can get more on the map. I think some progression onto tier 2s early is what you'd want to see. It is still very early, but they are clumped up in that top jungle here.
To Jing. He's going to hug that tier 2, and the arrow is going to give away the location of SMG. So Jing now going to know to just continue hugging that tier 2 tower, and does actually only just hit the level 6 mark on the clockwork. Finally has that hook shot up to be able to play with. The rest of SMG just deciding to back off because there's just nothing to play for up at that top side. All they can do is really secure some farm as bot lane. Meteor Hammer gonna fly in onto the Jakiro, though Ninja still gonna make a bit of space between himself and actually gets out. They are not gonna finish the job. He is okay.
Yeah, that's massive commitment. Santi's down. No big team fight spell for Enryu. And that gives him a lot of space up top. They know their 2 heroes showing bot.
Jing.
Shot?
Yeah, up at top. Moon, he has a BKB up already. A Beng, though, going to get in with the Fiend's Grip, and Jing has somehow still survived throughout all this. Moon, he needs a way out now. He will be able to walk away with the rest of the BKB, though. No, Chuan gets in with the Chrono. Arrow is going to land eventually, but it's all too late. They've already lost that mid laner, and they might even lose Raging Potato now. They've got the Astral to connect. And eventually they will be able to secure the kill. A Beng. Oh, gets the brain sap in time. Even the Nightmare to be able to survive, but the chase is still on here from Afu. With the Starfall, he will get the kill, but it may cost him his own life. Unless Ninja can save him from the Meteor Hammer. In fact, CDR is going to come in and turn this one right back around. Enryu to go down, though. Jing now has rejoined the team fight. A nice const to split them up. Chuan, he'll move in, and here comes Avatar mode. He will join the fight for the first time, getting Ninja Boogie onto CDR. He wants that Kunkka, and he'll get the Kunkka. Zafu will just try to leap away, but that was his last leap charge, and he gets the Ghost Creeps. The slow was there, but Avatar mode still looking for those side blades. Afu survives on 20 HP. Raging, he wants to keep the fight going. Nobody's left for Raging, it's time to back off, sir.
Oh. Yeah, he just wants to punish Avatar mode for showing up early. They might be able to.
Yeah, Light Strike Array does land. Avatar barely getting that refraction off in time to be able to survive through this. Chuan, look at this setup perhaps. This hook shot is going to be in from Jing, but the Conks is there. In fact, they do come back in with the TA. They might lose Chuan for this, however, but never mind Chuan. He had the time walk away, and he is going to make it away. It's SMG, they lose quite a lot in these little engagements.
Yeah, they're starting to maybe overcommit on these fights, and Neon are finding great openings. Like, sure, it's a one-man chrono from Chuan, but you just want that. You know, you want that one big kill onto the Lina. You want to be able to split these fights. You want to prevent SMG from getting the big clump up they need to work that Torrent boat, to work the Macro Power in, to get a good Magnetize off. And Neon are doing well. SMG still have the slight advantage. They're still ahead in kills. They haven't made any progression on the objectives, which, as we were mentioning, Mike, you know, with this kind of pacing, you would want to apply some pressure in the towers, and they've been trying to force fights near the area. But they have to commit so much while Avatar mode's just farming.
A Beng. There's your Nightmare around. A Beng. Looks like they aren't going to commit onto Ninja. Instead, bot lane. Enry is the one who's actually being caught out here on this OD. But he's going to try and buy a bit of time. The Astral will be there, and he'll try for the TP out. And he's going to make it. And while all that was happening, John, I'd hate to say I missed all those kills, but mid lane, Chuan and Avatar mode get Ninja Boogie and Moon both to go down. And unfortunately, SMG get nothing in response.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot stronger for SMG in this early game, but they are dropping a lot of heroes. And if you think about their scaling, you're losing Mu and you're keeping Chidori alive, but that's a Kunkka. Your Lina feels like the real win condition is mentioned. I mean, Chidori can still fill that role, and he is ahead in net worth, but his item spikes feel a lot slower, you know? You still need a full silver edge, you need a lot more.
Chrono committed onto the Kunkan. They've even got Arfu on the side. Avatar mode's going to have all the damage necessary on this TA as Arfu is still trying to run on this Mirana. There's an ice path out. They do catch the clockwork, but is that really good enough? Because Avatar mode's just out of control right now. Killing off Ninja Boogie and onto Raging they go, but the hook shot is off the mark. Raging, though, is so slowed up, and they seem to be able to see him in that sentry. That'll be another kill for Avatar mode onto the Earth Spirit. Avatar having a great game once again, John. 8-0-3 so far in this TA.
He's just popping off. He's going straight for the BKB next. He knows he doesn't really need the blink here. Everyone else can set up for him. And they're not done. They saw Moon. They are applying pressure in the tier 2s a lot earlier than SMG is. They've ignored Roshan. I think Neon could just play for Rosh. They've got Desolator on TA. It doesn't take too long to take that objective, but they will play it safe. They respect that Afu and Earth Spirit has stolen a lot of Aegises before, Mike, so they're not going to give that opening. We do have the quick BKB up and running on Avatar mode with the disassembly play, so he can actually take point up against SMG. There's nothing they really have in terms of control that goes through that spell meter.
They're going to try and go after Roshan. SMG, it's a risky play here. Oh, Moon, he's getting bashed. Be careful, Moon. Not that way, Moon. It could be very, very dangerous that way, Moon. As the hook shot is going to land on Avatar mode. He'll move right in. Oh, it's just such an easy kill as Moon is forced to buy back. They at least got Anuyu trapped up and silenced up so he can knock it away. That'll be the OD down. They'll lose Ninja Boogie to Buddhas now. Chuan moves in. X is there from CDR. Into the torrent, but the Avatar mode is the one you've got to worry about. They'll go after the Void, they'll get the Void, but now how do you deal with this TA? The answer is you just don't. As Raging Potato, he'll just try and find his own exit strategy, but he might make it. Jing will get kicked away at the last moment, but no, never mind. Avatar still gets the kill, moves on to more now, as the Bang just Fiends grip up Arfu, and the slow from the trap might be enough for Moon. Look at these side blades. Avatar mode. These side blades have been absolutely ridiculous as Moon is going to die back. Ninja Boogie's going to try and run now, but this TA is showing us something beautiful, John. Hey, he's finding all the side blades. This man, he's been studying geometry for a long time, John. He's got all the angles.
Oh yeah, he's found all of the angles. He's working them well. He's bringing out that protractor, Mike, you know, checking. Can it land from here? And he's been finding it. Wait, that opens up Rosh.
Wasn't that the circles, John? The protractor?
Protractors show you angles, right? They've got the measurements there.
Oh, I don't know, John.
See how wide it is?
I'm a Dota caster, Jonathan. I clearly don't know the answer to that, as there is going to be a rollout onto Jing. Raging. I don't know about the roll. You see, this is the problem with Earth Spirit, is you just want to roll into everything. So he's going to get stunned up. You may lose Jing, and in fact, Raging is going to be able to barely get himself out, or has he? Those side blades were still following him down, but he has rolled away. He's going to be alright. Problem is, they are still losing the Roshan. Avatar mode will take the Aegis for himself. And OB.Neon well and truly in the lead now with a 7k net worth advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a slower start, right? Like a slower lane coming out for Chuan, but they hold on, they build up. Every single time they were forcing these fights, Avatar mode was just farming. And this guy's just unstoppable now. You've got the Chrono ready to go. There's still no counterfight for that. We're not seeing any Heaven's Halberds done, and even then, you don't really counter the Void. Like, the Chrono itself, you can disarm someone, but with the BKBs up, that's a very tall order. As long as the Chrono flies out first, Avatar mode is protected. And Neon now can just look to push towers. They do have really good hold here on the side of SMG, and they've got macro power to deep push a wave. They can slow that process up a bit.
Oh, scan out on Moon down to the bot side. They know he's around there somewhere, but they're not going to have the bodies to really take him out. However, they have caught Chuan. SMG, a great kill to pick up as they've got that Pos 1 Void, and Arfu will immediately return the tips back over to OB.Neon.
Oh, Moon?
Bot lane. Oh, Moon. They've got a Fiend's Grip. He'll get the BKB, but the hook shot's there, Jing. Right on target. Moon is just melting right now as they've even got Arfu caught out. See, you got the Pos 1 Void, but what does it matter? By the way, John, I have to make a correction. I was wrong. It wasn't geometry. It's trigonometry that I was looking for. Thank you for correcting me, John.
Well, I had geometry in my second year of high school, and we used protractors to find angles, so... Was it trigonometry? You know what? I don't even know anymore. I remember it was geom, and it's the only math subject I did well in. Besides the point, none of that matters. What matters?
How did you do well if you don't even know what it is, John?
Because it's so with geometry, right? It's more like there's a lot of written stuff for geometry. I don't know why. You know, like describing how angles correlate to each other and stuff. So it's much more descriptive. That's why it wasn't numbers. As you can see, as we're straying off the point of smoke out for Neon, so they really tried to find the opening. They still have Aegis up. Avatar mode is still a massive problem. He's got that blink. He can just melt anyone's face right now.
I don't know why you're sweating so much, John, because they are going to move in onto Raging Potato, though he's going to try and roll away, but he is caught out by Chuan. A great catch. Raging, he'll still try, but the orbs are following. Yeah, by Raging. I've had that experience many times in my Earth Spirit career, John, let me tell you. Not very fun.
Definitely not. As they will lay siege onto that tier 2 mid. Not going to take too long to Meteor Hammer and the Deso on Avatar mode. Again, there is some good defense for SMG. They've got Kunkka, they've got Jack for high ground. They can clear out the creep waves for very long and try to force fights, but they have to find a good angle. I think that's their lack. What's your follow-through for Earth Spirit coming in with a roll? No one can really match that mobility, and that's cutting off their angles here.
Avatar's just going to keep going. Dragonlance and a Grove Bow. It's plenty of range here for the TA. It's funny too, because Avatar's been really abusing the side blades this game. In fact, hold that thought, because Yules and Arrow is going to land on Jing, but it means nothing. Jing is just perfectly fine on that low ground. And OB.Neon, they're not done. They're just going to keep going. Avatar has that Aegis, has the BKB. He's just afraid of nothing at the moment. They've even got that Chrono. Chuan thinking about moving in, but doesn't throw out that ulti yet. Still 45 seconds of time left on that Aegis for Avatar. Hook shot, oh, from a mile away, Jing. Right on target. Ninja Boogie just going to get destroyed by Avatar mode, and they might even be able to go for more. They've still got 30 seconds on that Aegis, and now with the Chrono out onto 2, they've got Raging down. They'll even find Arfu. CDR, they are going after Enryu, and they do at least get him. So they got the OD down. Maybe now OB.Neon will be forced to back off. 15 seconds left on that Aegis. We'll see how well SMG can try to time this one out. But Avatar, no, he's just going to blink away. They're not going to risk it. They'll get the tier 3, and that'll be enough here for the side of OB.Neon. They'll wait for another day.
Get to just reset. They force some buybacks out. 3 buybacks, in fact. 2 buybacks. So already some resources being poured out from SMG to stave off that loss. Aegis expires right in time for Avatar mode. Going for the Daedalus next. More damage, and they get scanned out here.
Jing, oh, he's going to find 2 in the cogs. He found CDR blind to Bert. Still, they could be in trouble because Raging's in with a big magnetize. Problem is, though, he is being shredded here by Avatar mode. CDR, he's going to keep going here with Moon. They even found Chuan. A great team fight thus far, as they might finally be able to get this TA down with an arrow setup. They should have enough. Avatar, he's still going to try and fight, but he does finally die. He dies 15, 1 and 9, John. After 15 kills, they finally killed this Templar Assassin.
And that's massive. That's a lot of gold going the way of Moon now off that 1 pick-off. They overstayed their welcome on the side of Neon. They don't respect the BKBs coming out. And CDR, what the BKB just stands for, he's hard to burst down. The supports can't handle him, and your Bane has to make that conscious choice now who he can grip. He's got to find a good position. You don't have anything like, say, a Glimmer Cape to help you with that. Only really has the range with the Aetherland, so you have to respect the jump-in capability of SMG, and that should force Neon to maybe reset a bit, take some farm back, and give SMG some room to breed. Moon, still waiting on his next item, could still go for the Silver Edge for more damage output on that Lina. He is definitely becoming that turnaround condition for SMG to lay the damage off. CDR as well, going for his own Silver Edge. He did catch one of Bang again, overstepping his bounds, going on a warding run. So the punishment is lining up. And for Neon, you can't afford to give too much away there, Mike. They do have that 3k lead. A lot of that is on Avatar mode. Enryu, Chuan, they've lagged behind the other cores to enable that TA. You have to make sure that the other cores don't go up too far, otherwise they won't be able to match up themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly getting to that stage now where SMG, could start to really give it back in this late game. And well, like you mentioned, Chuan has not really prioritized himself in this farm game, and he's just basically a walking chrono and time dilation. That's all he really does on this Faceless Void at the moment. It's Ninja Boogie. Not going to get spotted out. He's going to be just fine in this Jakiro. I don't know whether OB.Neon can really afford to slow down though either. I mean, I suppose TA Void does scale extremely well. Then again, Kunkalina in this meta do so as well, so it's hard to know who has the advantage later on. SMG, they're not looking to find out. They're going right in after Chuan, but the roll is off the mark, and Arfu does not get the arrow. Instead, now Chrono committed here by Chuan with the BKB. He'll go on to Raging, but Raging's a bit too tanky. He'll try to roll away. Chuan's still trying with the time walk with Raging. No, he will finally drop. Can they deal with Chuan? Not quite. He's fine as now the side blades again out from Avatar mode. He finds Ninja Boogie, and he's onto CDR. He wants that Kunkka real bad. Force the BKB usage up. CDR gonna get Fiend's Grip. Bang is there in the nick of time, and that is just terrible news for SMG as they just got annihilated. Like nothing went right.
The only good news there for SMG is that Moon wasn't caught out, so he doesn't die. Beyond that, you are giving some of that gold you gained back the way of Neon. That's good news for them. Roshan's up as well. Big timing for them in their favor. Free Ag Shard from Rosh number 2. Not going to take long with the damage output of Avatar mode and Enryu as well. And without the Kunkka, they don't have a good angle to go in here for SMG, so it's going to be a bit tough. Aegis should enable that second high ground. Chuan will pick up the Ag Shard for himself. With a reverse time walk, pinning down that Faceless Void is even tougher, and Moon has to be cautious there. Playing pretty far forward, but will immediately TP, knowing that the control is available. SMG has to play really good high ground defense once more, Mike. They've got to be able to catch out Neon while they're overextending. They've got to be able to play around the Chrono. They've got to have their buybacks ready. And that's really the big part. Like, the buybacks after Chrono's expended is where SMG's going to look a lot better. They don't have many online right now, so still maybe 100 gold for Moon. CDR still 1,000 away. Gotta find a way to make use of that as they play with an illusion there.
Yeah, I mean, OB.Neon, just keep going.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Why not just keep going for the tier 2? There's really just not much in the way that SMG can stop you. I suppose they can push the mid tier 2, and that is a bit more valuable here for SMG, but I mean, OB.Neon, they've already found the opposing tier 2, and in fact, Beng is looking to set up and does get the Nightmare onto a great target. That'll be Moon into the Fiend's Grip, and it's gonna be a very easy kill as now Raging trying to roll in and save him, but that'll be another casualty of war here for SMG. In fact, it might be a third because Ninja Boogie's not getting it either, it doesn't seem. Maybe he does though. Do they have Dust? Not off cooldown, but eventually they'll find him. They'll be able to get the Jack. That'll be 3 for nothing. And that'll be a line drawn towards that top tier 2 tower here for OB.Neon.
Yeah, they're going to be able to just start pressuring, open up the high ground completely, take out the last piece of control from the side of SMG. Aftermore doesn't really care about that tier 2 though. He's just going for racks. Without the tier 3 to defend, without the Jack, and a hold here is just so tough.
That it is. CDR, oh, he's going to be astraled up. Media Hammer, going to be cancelled as the arrow does force him to move. Still, the mid-ranks will go down, and again, it's just not going to stop. Moon, he may be forced to buy back once Raging has respawned, or they may just be forced to watch both of these Raxes go down. Still, roll is going to be there onto that T8. Keep in mind, the Aegis is still up, and now a big Chrono. Chuan, he's got 3 targets in that, rather 2, but it won't matter because both are going to drop, it seems, as Raging. He barely rolls away. Are they going to keep going? Raging Potato, he dies in the fountain. A lot of buybacks here from SMG, but it really just amounts to nothing. Counter smoke now from OB.Neon. Back in through the mid lane. They'd love a dieback on Moon, as that would probably just be the game. They're not going to make the play though, instead just wrapping around towards the top side, it seems. The SMG, they've smoked up as 4, maybe just trying to make use of these buybacks that they've committed. Jing, he'll be around to break the smoke and does do so. Now maybe looking for a hook shot out. No, he'll just tank the gank. Good Avatar though, John. No, he's not going to go for it. He'll back off. Moon, though, is on a chase. Does get the Dragon Slave, but the refraction is still there. Still, the Light Striker Ray does land, and now Jing is forced to buy back, and in they go. Chuan right onto Moon with the arrow. Does connect. Still trying onto Abaddon, the Fiend's Grip. They've got Moon trapped up. He does at least Shadow Blade and get himself out, at least for now, as Ninja Boogie, he'll be the first to drop at Jing. He does get a great hook shot out on the Clockwork. That'll be Moon with a dieback, down for 2 minutes, and it looks like SMG. They may have to call it. The CDR, I mean, they are still trying to fight, but without that Lina up, there's just no way they could really get anyone down on OB.Neon as Chuan gets his sticker placed on the ground. Brings back some memories. CDR, that's a big Tidebringer hit. Chuan could be able to back off. Jing with the Cogs pushback. The roll is there. Still nice juke out from Chuan as well, the Meld Strike does follow down the ES, and now Avatar mode back in onto CDR. Does get his BKB used up, but they may need to back. And SMG are still going, but no, never mind. Great hook shot, mid kick, and it's a 3v1 scenario here for CDR.
Yeah, and he does some good damage with that Silver Edge, but it's a tall order. Like, he still has the boat ready. He is trying to hold the bot lane, but the top is going to be shoved in here by the side of Neon. They have Chrono up. They just need mana on Chuan. And I don't think you can play against that. You can't even show up now. You've got to play with the X. Just walk around, come in, stall out as much as you can. Respawns aren't too far off for the supports. So some assistance will show up, but you got to stay alive till then.
Well, that'll be the second lane at Barracks. There is still one more to go down bot, as they never finished it last time. 20 seconds for Moon to be back up, and that's the main person you're waiting for, because he's got all the damage. Side of SMG. Final defense, though, for SMG now, as they do move in. Avatar doesn't have an Aegis to rely on this time. It's going to be a nice turret setup, but Chuan's in. He's already found 2 on the Chrono, but the arrow does hold down the TA. So they have no follow-up, but now they've got the Fiend's Grip. CDR in big trouble. Zenryu's just going to come in with all the Arcane Orb. Moon, he does at least find the Bane, but he is going to drop the hammer right on top of his head. As after, he's going to keep going. Avatar finding Arfu. CDR still just trying to go back after the OD, may be able to get it. Can they get this TA though? They've got a lot of damage being pumped out now with the Magnetize, and they do get through him. They even found Chuan, and they are not megged yet, JohnXFire. SMG, they are still in this game.
Yeah, they're hanging on. Again, the hits of CDR are getting pretty big with just the Silver Edge, and Sanjok has a lot of strength on hand, so he can melt through. Neon are still in a really good position to win. SMG, I mean, they still have tools to play with, but they have tier 2s to have to work through. They've got a tier 1 down bot to handle if they want to go for their own mega creeps, play down the line. And I think at this point you're just looking for a team fight into Ancient Rush, trying to rush through the objectives, go straight to the Ancient, ignore the racks. Neon respawns are coming up soon. Jing still in a bit of danger here, though.
That he is. CDR, how hard are you going to hit here, sir? Not that hard.
Ooh,
1k. Blast Rig does block out quite a bit of the damage, but CDR still going to be in there. The hook shot, Jing. He's got away to the creep wave, but now needs to find a way out of this tree line as he does juke out CDR for now. Though CDR still looking. No, Jing. He's going to get out. CDR gets the tip on the way out as well. Everyone tipping Chidori. Oh, the pressure. Oh the pressure's too much sometimes, John.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't find them. And Neon, because of that movement, they get to stall out. Like, there's no push onto mid just yet.
Look at
They're not able to really find any objective yet. The Divine coming out from the Kunkka could be the turning point. That will leave him with no buyback, but he did expend that, so we'll see if they find the opening. But if he dies as well, that's a Divine Rapier on Faceless Void or on a TA. Could go either way, Mike, if it does fall.
SMG, again, not out of this game yet. Roshan in 3 minutes. It's quite a long timer. Our team's going to start prepping for that. It's going to be a 4-man smoke. OB.Neon. let Avatar come in the old-fashioned way. It's going to be a smoke on smoke now. Both 4-mans. Avatar does show underneath the ward, but it seems like SMG know that they are coming behind him as they do get off the Nightmare, but it looks like a bang going to go down as the hook shot is off the mark. But Chuan, he's got Moontown on that leader, and they've got Raging controlled up. That's going to be 2 to drop. In fact, make it more as Ninja Boogie is probably not making it out of this. He does get a 4-staff though, onto the high ground, but the chase is on, and there are no towers to protect this poor old Jakiro as Ninja Boogie is to drop. And it's onto that final lane of barracks, John. That 1 milli barracks left. Enryu, though, he's not done with CDR. Shidori's still in trouble. Does pop his own BKB, but there's your hook shot out from Jing. Now into the cogs. CDR still trying just by himself. The bash isn't there. Afu, the last remaining person on the map for SMG, but the GG's been called. Moon has seen enough. And that'll be a 2-0 the way of OB.Neon. So really just fantastic play here from this Dire side, and I've got to say, this new roster not looking too bad thus far.
Yeah, I mean, I had some doubts coming in. I think all of us had some questions about the roster coming out. They just lost Palos. They take some players who have been active in the Philippine scene, but not really regionally. And they just surprise us. Avatar mode, KOKZ does really well. Jing has a fantastic time. Chuan playing for us in the Pause 1. He still got it, man. You know, he still got it. Like, you saw that video on Twitter where he's like, how was your first game? NC Creep killed me. Like, what can you do sometimes, you know? But the Neon looked great. I think that removes a lot of the doubts. They were doing great in other tournaments, as we mentioned, with most of the same roster. But SMG, I think they were hit hard. You know, they just roster swapped as well. We were joking about it, but this is old Mineski, 3 players of old Mineski, and they had, you know, mid one not able to come in. So maybe not at full power themselves. They still put up a good fight in game 2. But Neon, I mean, even with a stand-in on SMG, Neon still play really great. You have to respect that, and I think a lot of teams will be eyeing Neon this group stage going forward, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, they look fantastic thus far. I'm looking very forward to seeing how they go in the next couple of days. Still, there is one more series left to go, John. It's going to be Lure Gun against Team Orca to finish us off for the night. Should be a bit of a fun matchup between these two as we do get into it. Though we are going to have a 15-minute break before we do get to that 3rd series. So it's MLP Dota and JohnXfire, and we're going to have a bit of merienda and come back with game number 1 of this best of 2.